Mrs. Farley, you're looking great.
Who cares?
Oh, it's a beautiful day outside.
So what?
Doctor says in another week you'll be checking out.
And in another month, I'll be decomposing.
Mrs. Farley, many people your age have minor heart attacks and go on and live happy, healthy lives.
Good. They can all come to my funeral. Paco?
Oh, and one last thing, everyone.
Morning.
We had a John Doe coma patient admitted last night. Hit-and-run driver took off, left him for dead. So every spare moment we get, I want someone in there keeping those brain waves going. Spend time with him, read to him, talk to him.
A man that doesn't talk back? I'm going first.
Okay, I think we've covered everything that's important, so let's get to work.
Hey, well, wait a minute. Haven't we all forgotten something?
What?
I'll give you a little hint. Fuzzy ears, lots of hair coming out of the nose, walks like this.
Oh, you're dating that girl Betty again.
Talking about my grandfather. He's checking in today for gallbladder surgery.
We know, honey, we know, and we can't wait to meet him.
Of course you can, because he raised me. He gave me a sense of direction. He gave my life meaning. He taught me to do this. Oh, no, that was Betty.
Look at you, John Doe, sleeping like a baby. You know, you remind me of my husband, Fred. I don't know what it is, though. Maybe it's the way you just lay and they ignore me with that blank expression on your face. Oh, I have a picture of him. Isn't he sexy? We were at a Halloween party. I went as Little Bo Peep, and he went as I'm not wearing in a damn costume.
So, did I tell you my grandpa's checking in today? Yeah, pretty exciting. Oh, you'll love him, too. Great guy to hang with. We used to do everything together. Play ball, go fishing, knock over people's mailboxes. Yeah, and Grandma would always yell at us. I can hear her. Hurry up, get back in the car. They're coming. They were my best friends. Married 61 years. Too bad you never got to meet Grandma. Hope I meet a girl like that someday. Hey, maybe we can go out and meet women together. We got a great icebreaker. Instead of what's your sign, I can just say, hey, girls, this is my friend. He's in a coma, and he's buying.
Greg, your grandfather's here.
Oh, great. I'll be back. Listen, you might want to sing with him. He loves it. His favorite is, I say potato, you say nothing. I say tomato, you say nothing. Potato, tomato. Let's call the whole thing off.
Hello, Mr. Doe. I'm Julie. I'm new here, too, just like you. Only I'm conscious. That was a joke. Hey, I think I just saw your mouth move. Great. Finally found someone who laughs at my jokes. I feel like I know you. You feel it, too, don't you? Well, then who are you? Let's see. No ID, no tattoos, no wedding band. Who are you, John Doe? Oh, a Jewish boy.
Yeah, this is the nurse's station.
Having fun, Mr. Benson?
Oh, boy, am I. He showed me all the sights.
Grandpa, that's my desk. And that's my phone. And that's Dr. Hinnerman. He left a pair of scissors in a woman once.
Well, don't ever ask her to pass the shears. Huh, Greg?
Greg. Yeah. Mrs. Sorensen in 303 needs you.
Okay, I'll be back in a second.
Sandy, remember to tell my daughter-in-law she's not getting my silver when I'm dead.
You're not dying, Mrs. Farley.
Oh, sure. Take away the only thing I have left to look forward to.
Oh, excuse me, ma'am. You shouldn't talk like that. Life's too precious to waste it feeling sorry for ourselves.
I know. I used to feel that way, too, but now there just doesn't seem to be any point in going on.
Oh, how can you say that?
You know, I lost my husband a year ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. I lost my Helen 3 years ago.
Oh.
It isn't easy, is it?
I don't believe you two have officially met. Mrs. Farley, Mr. Vincent.
Oh, how do you do?
Oh, how do you do?
Gina, do you have the biopsy results of Mr. Brennan?
Yes, and with it, I'm giving you a sample of my very special peach and salsa chutney.
Thank you, Gina. Paco, would you put this sample in my office?
I don't know who this came out of, but he ain't got long to live.
You're a charmer, Chester.
Well, I used to be, Millie.
Oh?
You know, there's a lovely view from the solarium, so if you and Mrs. Farley would care to, I'd be more...
Excuse me, Sandy. Sandy, what are you doing?
I'm fixing your granddaddy up with Mrs. Farley. I thought a little attention might cheer her up, you know, and he's so
Sandy,
cute.
this is a hospital. This isn't Cocoon 3. Just leave my grandfather alone. There's no way he'd be interested in another woman.
You mean to say those are your own teeth?
Good morning, Mr. Doe. Guess whose grandfather has a crush on Mrs. Farley? Close. It's Greg's grandfather. I matched them up. And now Mrs. Farley is eating. She's smiling. She even tried to get the down payment back on her headstone. It's amazing what a little romance will do. Well, if memory serves, I mean, I've been divorced quite a while now. Now, don't you tell anybody, but I like being married. I miss waking up with somebody, sharing your day, snuggling by the fire, fighting about money, washing his socks, picking his toenail clippings out of the carpet, fixing dinner for him, but then he doesn't come home and eat it because he's out dancing with some cocktail waitress. God, I miss that so much.
Do you believe in reincarnation? Me too. In my last life, I was married to Louis Pasteur. It's true. Think he just decided one day to pasteurize milk? Not so. It's all my idea. We were in the barn, and he offered me some milk right out of the cow, and I said, Louis, that's disgusting. What are you, an animal? Expect me to drink that stuff? Clean it up. I hope this is not a bad time. I have such a need to talk to someone. It's about Dr. Hank Kaplan. He's such a wonderful man, and he fills all my thoughts, and I don't know how to get him to notice me. I flatter him, I cook for him, I follow him everywhere he goes, and all I get in return, a blank stare, a plate full of crumbs, and, excuse me, Gina, this is the men's room. Maybe I should try being more like you. You haven't said a word since you got here, and look at all the attention you're getting. That's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to play hard to get. That's a very good idea you have. Thank you, Coma Man.
You think you got problems, pal? I got to pay for malpractice insurance. College loans, credit cards, alimony, child support. I'm going broke here. How about you, pal? Any women bleeding you dry? Because every woman I meet sucks the dust right out of me. Except for Gina. Gina Cuevas. She's different. She's giving. She actually cooks things for me. Granted, you can't eat them and stand up straight afterwards, but... it's the thought that counts. Yeah, why don't I ask her out? I'll tell you why. Because you can't date someone like Gina Cuevas without a commitment. You know, you're absolutely right. A date is not a commitment. I like your style. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take your advice next time I see her. I'm asking her out.
Doctor?
Nurse. Yeah, I do all right. Almost married Paula Abdul, you know. That's right. Paula Abdul was my sex slave. But I had to break it off. I had her so captivated by my spell, I had to say, Paula, please, I'm not a piece of meat.
Papa, what are you doing here?
Nothing.
Hey, Grandpa, your tests aren't scheduled for 2 more hours, but I gave him a part cheesy.
Well, Not now, son. I have bigger fish to fry. Good morning, Millie.
Hello, Chester.
Want to get down to the cafeteria and split a bowl of applesauce? Medicare's buying.
Will you look at that? This has been the best week of therapy that woman could have gotten.
Yeah.
She's happy. She's going home tomorrow. That was nice work, Sandy.
Nice work. This is a nightmare. Look what you started.
They're adorable. Come on, they're holding hands. They're passing notes.
passing notes. This man can't pass cheese. You think this is adorable? You think my grandma would think this is adorable? Think again. The man's cheating on her.
Greg, she's dead.
Great, kick her while she's down.
Well, here we are again. It's not every man I sponge bathe on the third date, you know. Well, except for that French guy with the Corvette. You know, ever since my divorce, I can't seem to find a normal guy. Something wrong with every single one of them. Hair's too long, ties are too wide. They want to do some weird thing with pancake batter. You know what I mean. Dating is tough. What about you? Are you seeing anybody? I know. I had to start scouting for you like I did for Mrs. Farley. In fact, there's a concussion in 311 that would be perfect for you. Cute, blonde, plenty of vital signs.
Code Blue Room 301. Code Blue Room
Mrs. Farley.
301.
Is she all right?
Yes, Greg, she's fine.
Who's that naked guy in Mrs. Farley's bed?
Greg, it's your grandfather.
What's my grandfather doing in Mrs. Farley's bed?
He's gone, Greg.
What?
I'm sorry, we did everything we could.
Oh, my God.
What happened?
What happened? I'll tell you what happened. He killed my grandfather.
Wasn't it? Greg's eulogy was very touching.
Yeah, except for the part where he warned all of his living relatives not to sit near Sandy.
I never should have played matchmaker.
Sandy, the man was in his 80s. Stop blaming yourself. Besides, he died with a smile on his face. Smile? Hell, he was probably hollering hallelujah.
And remember, his final moments were filled with beauty and passion.
And a shooting pain up his left arm that could choke a horse.
He died making love. I think there are worse ways to go.
Yes. Like driving in a convertible and being decapitated by a sheet of glass that comes flying off a passing truck.
Exactly.
It must be awful to be in bed with a dead man.
Oh, you get used to it after 3 or 4 years.
Fine, go ahead and make jokes. I'm the one Greg's never going to forgive.
Sandy, it's not your fault. Nobody blames you.
Did I tell you that Sandy killed my grandfather?
It's a hot day today. Yeah, I was thinking after work I just might take a long drive out to the beach. Yeah, put on a little music. Salsa, of course. Little Coolio, little Chichi Rodriguez.
Well, how nice for you. Me, I never have any time for the beach. I'm too busy. Juggling my jam-packed social calendar with dates aplenty. Who is it tonight? The president of the corporation? Oh, no. That was last night. Tonight is the world-famous accountant.
Oh, that's too bad, because I was just going to ask you if you wanted to, but never mind. I'll catch you later.
Oh, my God, what have I done? I think I just hard to get it myself right out of a date. That's the last time I take advice from a man in a coma. I know you must feel alone because nobody you know or love knows you're here, but everybody knows I'm here, and sometimes I still feel alone. Except when I'm with you. So let's make a deal. Since I don't feel lonely when I'm with you, you can't feel lonely when you're with me. Okay?
Hey, you in the bed. Thanks for nothing.
Well, my grandfather passed away. Still can't believe how it happened. I'll never be able to think of him the same way again. I wanted to remember him as the old man on the porch, not the old man on the old lady. My God, I forgot about Mrs. Farley. She must feel horrible. Because once you kill a man in bed, you get a reputation. I know this because it's the main thing I look for in a woman. Here I am thinking about myself when I should be thinking about Mrs. Farley. You know what? I'm going to go see her. Thanks for your help.
Well, guess who wants to go out with me now? Kim Bassinger. Yeah, when it rains, it pours. She called it midnight while I was in bed with Michelle. Perhaps you know her? Michelle Pfeiffer?
Hello, Mrs. Farley.
Greg. Oh, Greg, how nice to see you. Come in.
Thanks.
Come in.
Thank you.
I was just having a little tea. Would you care to join me?
Oh, sure. How've you been?
Well, all things considered, fine. Just fine. How are you holding up?
Okay. Okay.
Please sit down.
Thanks.
It's nice of you to come and see me, Greg.
Well, you know, whenever I'm in the neighborhood, I like to come by and rent those big tricycles with the flags on the back.
I wanted to call you, Greg, but, well, I just didn't know if I should. There's something I want to tell you about your grandfather.
With all due respect, Mrs. Farley, I know all about my grandfather. He lived in a little house. He took little walks. He had a little problem with cheese.
Greg, he gave me back my life. He made me feel young and vital again.
My grandparents were married 61 years.
And they loved each other dearly. And before your grandmother died, she made your grandfather promise that he would date again.
She did?
Mm-hmm. Oh, Greg, I didn't take your grandmother's place. We were just two people who found a little happiness together.
See, I never looked at it like that.
Those were 5 sweet days. I'll cherish them forever.
You know, Mrs. Farley, my grandfather had great taste. You are young and vital.
Flatterer. You're just like your grandfather.
I hope so. Mrs. Farley?
Yes?
I know this may seem kind of stupid, but I was very close to my grandfather. I was just wondering, do you remember if he had any last words?
Well, Greg, yes, he did. If I remember correctly, he said, "Ride me like a wild stallion."
Thanks, I feel so much better now. Where's Sandy?
Hold it, cowboy. Now, we know you're hurting, and we know you're upset, and we're all sorry about your grandfather. But you're acting like a complete jerk about this, and I'm telling you, knock it off. Sandy, no more caused him to die than I did. And besides, if you think I'm going to stand here and watch you make my best friend feel worse than she already does, you got another thing coming. You think you saw him fighting in Vietnam? You try messing with me.
All I want to do is apologize to her.
Oh, well, what are you wasting my time for? She's in 320.
Thank you. And they call me unstable.
I've thought about what we talked about the other day, and I think I've come to a realization. I have trouble dating because I'm using my feelings for my ex-husband as an excuse not to get on with my life. Hey, you know, this is just like therapy. Well, except you're not trying to sleep with me.
Sandy?
I'll get out of your way.
No, please don't go. Look, I know I'm not very good at this, but I just want to say I'm sorry.
Greg.
I think my grandfather saved Mrs. Farley's life.
I think maybe he did.
That's something, isn't it?
It sure is.
I miss him.
Oh, I know you do.
Excuse me. Hey, can't you see we're having a moment here?
Welcome back to Earth, Coma Man.
So tell us, what was it like being out for 5 days?
It was just like the strangest dream. And you were there. And you, and you, and you.
Really?
Nah, I've just always wanted to say that.
You sure you don't remember anything from last week?
I don't think so.
Any voices?
Any feelings?
Any names?
No, nothing.
Oh,
Great.
that's a good thing.
Well, we'll let you rest before lunch, Mr. Riley.
100 radiology, please. Dr. Warner.
Hi.
Hi. Hey. No,
What?
never mind. No, never mind. I thought you were someone I knew.
Oh, gosh, I don't think so. Aside from seeing you naked and monitoring all your bodily functions, we hardly know each other at all. I'm Julie. You and I spent a lot of time together this week.
I'm glad we did. Maybe one of the reasons I woke up.
Hope so.
Listen, Julie, would you want to come back here and have a little lunch with me later?
I thought you'd never ask. You get some rest, I'll be back.
Are you sure we've never met?
Maybe in a past life.
Maybe.
You're not going to believe this. Michelle and Kim come over, and there I am on the kitchen table with Liz Taylor. Oh, yeah, did I tell you I kind of have this thing for older women?
No, you never mentioned it.
Coming up, our parents weren't like this. It's the show that forever changed the way we think about adulthood. In tonight's episode, Mary Beth Hurt guest stars as a famous literary personality. Trying to be grown up. They're our favorite 30-somethings next, right here only on Lifetime.